The hall was silent. Dozens of alphas waited, breath held, claws ready. And then they brought her in. The last Omega born under a red moon, wrapped in chains of silver, eyes like wildfire in a cage. The bidding began. But something went wrong. Two alphas stood at once. Brothers in blood, enemies in heart. Both claimed her as their own. Now one bond isn't enough. Two marks burn across her skin. One heart caught between power, devotion, and something that should never exist. As the full moon approaches, she has one night, one breath, to decide who she belongs to, or let desire consume all three. If you're still breathing after that, you'll want to stay. Like, subscribe, and send your hypes. It keeps our stories alive, and brings you deeper into the shadows where love stops pretending to be pure. The torches burn white. The air tastes of iron and want. She stands on the marble dais, wrists bound in silver, the last Omega the moon court will ever sell. Eyes everywhere, voices bidding. Each number cuts through her like a blade made of breath. Then, two voices at once, two alphas, brothers once sworn to the same blood, now divided by the same desire. The auctioneer stumbles, sweat slicking his palms. The crowd roars for resolution. But there is none, because when the hammer falls, it falls twice. Two winners, one prize that should never be shared. They approach from opposite sides, both reaching for the same chain. The first takes her chin, slow, deliberate, a promise without mercy. The second grips the collar, possessive, daring, waiting for her pulse to tremble. The chain strains, the link between them splits. Metal sings through the hall. She gasps. For a heartbeat, both their hands are on her. The world stops breathing. One leans close, his voice low, dangerous, the kind that curls under her skin. Before the moon wanes, you'll know which of us your pulse obeys. The crowd erupts again, but she hears nothing, only the echo of his whisper, and the other's jealous silence burning beside it. Night and day no longer mean light and dark, they mean them. By decree of the moon court, the brothers divide the claim. One takes her by dawn, the alpha with quiet power and patient hands, whose voice commands without raising a sound. He teaches her control, the rhythm of stillness, how surrender can sound like peace. But peace does not last, because when the sun dies, the other comes. He doesn't ask. He takes. A storm in flesh. All rough breath and teeth-grazing promises he never intends to keep. Where his brother's touch soothes, his devours. Where one whispers, breathe, the other growls, beg. And she does. Not out of fear but confusion. Because both feel right. Both feel wrong. Each night leaves her trembling in ways the morning cannot erase. But the truth is sharper than the pleasure. The bond doesn't rest. It thrums in her veins, carrying their energy, their hunger, their war through her. Every touch connects them. Every sigh travels through the same thread. Two alphas bound by one curse, and she is now the conduit that keeps them alive. They don't know she can feel it too. The pull that drags her toward one when the other is near. The ache that starts when they're both in the same room. The pulse that answers twice when they call her name. One night they test it. Two hands reach for her at once, one from the light, one from the dark. The bond reacts. The air ripples. The moon above trembles as if gasping. Her breath catches. Their marks burn against her skin. The room fills with that impossible tension. The moment before surrender, before ruin. And when it breaks, she knows it's not love binding them. It's the curse she's become. She wakes to silence that hums. The sheets cling to her skin, damp with the echo of something unfinished. A burn tracing the hollow of her throat. When she touches it, the mark pulses once, then stills. His mark. Claimed in the hours before dawn, but only halfway sealed. The door opens before she can hide the evidence. The other alpha stands there, eyes cold, scent sharp as smoke. He sees it instantly. The color drains from his face, then floods with heat. He doesn't ask who did it. He already knows. He crosses the room in a breath, one hand catching her wrist, the other gripping her jaw. Did you let him? Her silence answers louder than any word could. His thumb presses against the half mark. Her body shivers, not from pain but recognition. Then he leans in, voice low, broken at the edges. If he marked you first, then I'll mark you last. The bite never comes soft. It tears through her breath like lightning through silk. The bond flares, white, violent, unstoppable. When it settles, two marks thrum against each other on her skin, fighting for space over the same heartbeat. The palace feels it. Walls groan. Torches gutter out. Silver veins crawl across the stone as if the building itself can't bear what's been done. Servants drop to their knees, trembling as the power ripples outward. She gasps, the sound half plea, half surrender. Two forces pull at her, neither willing to release. Her body answers to both. Her mind can't tell which name it moans anymore. Later, she finds herself in the bathing chamber, trying to wash away the tremor still lingering in her pulse. The water turns silver under moonlight, shimmering with the residue of their marks. The door opens again. Not one. Both. The room grows smaller, air thick with unspoken possession. One alpha steps behind her, lifting her chin with slow control, forcing her gaze to meet her reflection in the mirror. The other circles in front, his voice soft but dangerous, the kind that coils around her ribs. He whispers, "Surrender isn't choosing one of us. It's learning how to survive both." Two marks glow at once. Her breath stumbles. The water ripples. The moonlight bends. And in that moment, she stops resisting. Not because she's weak, but because she's finally realized what they want isn't her obedience, it's her undoing. It's her. She wakes to silence that hums. The sheets cling to her skin, damp with the echo of something unfinished, a burn tracing the hollow of her throat. When she touches it, the mark pulses once, then stills. His mark, claimed in the hours before dawn, but only halfway sealed. The door opens before she can hide the evidence. The other alpha stands there, eyes cold, scent sharp as smoke. He sees it instantly. The color drains from his face, then floods with heat. He doesn't ask who did it. He already knows. He crosses the room in a breath, one hand catching her wrist, the other gripping her jaw. Did you let him? Her silence answers louder than any word could. His thumb presses against the half mark. Her body shivers, not from pain but recognition. Then he leans in, voice low, broken at the edges. If he marked you first, then I'll mark you last. The bite never comes soft. It tears through her breath like lightning through silk. The bond flares white, violent, unstoppable. When it settles, two marks thrum against each other on her skin, fighting for space over the same heartbeat. The palace feels it. Walls groan, torches gutter out. Silver veins crawl across the stone as if the building itself can't bear what's been done. Servants drop to their knees, trembling as the power ripples outward. She gasps, the sound half plea, half surrender. Two forces pull at her, neither willing to release. Her body answers to both. Her mind can't tell which name it moans anymore. Later, she finds herself in the bathing chamber, trying to wash away the tremor still lingering in her pulse. The water turns silver under moonlight, shimmering with the residue of their marks. The door opens again. Not one, both. The room grows smaller, air thick with unspoken possession. One alpha steps behind her, lifting her chin with slow control, forcing her gaze to meet her reflection in the mirror. The other circles in front, his voice soft but dangerous, the kind that coils around her ribs. He whispers, "Surrender isn't choosing one of us. It's learning how to survive both." Two marks glow at once. Her breath stumbles. The water ripples. The moonlight bends. And in that moment, she stops resisting. Not because she's weak, but because she's finally realized. What they want isn't her obedience, it's her undoing. It's her. The council's verdict echoes through the hall. One alpha must die before the next moonrise. The law calls it purification. The brothers call it betrayal. They don't wait for dawn. The first blade sings from its sheath. The second answers instantly. Steel meets steel, fury meets fury. And between them, her. The world narrows to blood and breath. They're fighting for her, through her, against everything they once swore sacred. She doesn't scream. She moves. Her wrist slashes against the edge of one's blade, crimson blooming fast and bright. Before they can stop her, she raises it to her lips, then presses that same blood against both of their mouths. The air shatters. The moon above flares white, then red. 3 heartbeats slam into sync. The triple bond seals, raw, ancient, forbidden. It stitches their souls together with threads of pain and desire so strong that even distance burns. One gasps. The other doubles over, feeling it too. She stands between them, breathing hard. Not broken, not owned, chosen. Now their senses are one. When one tastes, the other hungers. When one breathes her name, the other hears it inside his bones. She feels them both inside the bond, tangled like veins of the same pulse. Later, she tests it, alone. Moonlight spills across her skin like a second touch. Her fingers drift slowly, tracing the mark just below her throat, then lower. Miles away, one alpha's breath catches. The other's hand clenches around nothing. She smiles, soft and dangerous. Every motion pulls at the thread binding the 3 of them. Every sigh sends heat into 2 bodies she cannot see. By the time she stills, both alphas are on their knees in different rooms, gasping her name as though prayer might stop the ache. The next morning, they find her waiting, calm, almost cruel. "You feel it now," she murmurs, eyes steady. "Everything you wanted to control now belongs to me." Neither denies it, because in the bond's silence, they both hear the same truth echoing back. She's no longer the prize between them. She's the throne. The days after the pact blur like fever. She feels it first, the shift. The bond no longer just connects them. It obeys her. When she breathes, one alpha trembles. When she sleeps, the other wakes, sweating with her dreams. But their strength begins to fade. The more they reach for her, the weaker they become. She's the balance the moon built. One feeds, one bleeds, the cycle never ending. Each touch tips the scale. Each kiss redraws power in a way even they can't predict. Soon they start to fear her. Not because she's cruel, but because she's too much, too bound, too alive, too dangerous to resist. They hide from her, avoid her scent, avoid each other. But the bond won't allow distance. It drags them back like gravity made of hunger. One night she finds the younger alpha alone in the stables. Moonlight cuts across his face, exhaustion making him look almost human. He flinches when she steps closer, her voice barely a breath. "If you can't choose me." Her hand slides up his chest, slow, deliberate. "Then I'll make the moon choose for us." He exhales, broken, torn between fear and surrender. The horses shift restlessly. They can feel it too, the pull twisting the air. She presses her lips to his throat just above the mark that links them all. The bond snaps open like a wound. The air turns silver. The moon reacts instantly, spilling light through the wooden beams until the walls themselves begin to glow. The air thickens heavy and electric, making it hard to breathe, harder to think. He tries to resist, whispering her name like a prayer and a warning, but she doesn't stop. Her voice turns into a low command. "Stop hiding from what's already yours." The bond chamber rules forbid this. Merging during the curse's height means losing control of the moon's pull. They don't care. They break every law written in silver. When it's over, he collapses against her, trembling, eyes unfocused. The bond flares wild. The other alpha miles away feels every heartbeat, every shudder, every exhale. He roars from the distance, the sound splitting the night. She smiles faintly, fingers tangled in the hair of the alpha before her. Now he knows, she murmurs. The moon doesn't belong to him anymore. Outside, the sky burns pale white, the moon trembling like it just took sides. Rain falls like silver needles through the canopy. The forest breathes around them, alive, watchful, waiting. The council has sent its blades. The moon court calls it purification. They know it's a hunt. They move by night. No fire, no light, only instinct. Each step is a heartbeat shared between three bodies, one soul divided by choice, bound by curse. The bond grows heavier with every passing hour. Each time she touches one, the other feels it. The pulse, the warmth, the echo that never fades. Every dawn, the younger alpha weakens. His skin pales. His bond mark flickers faintly, like dying flame. He hides it from her, from his brother. But the moon doesn't hide anything. It shows every truth in reflection. By the third night, they find shelter. The ruins of an old moon temple buried in vines and silence. She kneels to start a small fire, her hands shaking from exhaustion and something deeper, fear of losing one before the full moon decides. The rain turns heavier. The older alpha sleeps near the crumbling altar, his body tensed even in rest. The younger sits apart, awake, eyes fixed on the storm. She moves to him, silent, careful, the bond guiding her steps. He doesn't look at her, just whispers, "You shouldn't be near me. The bond's killing us." She ignores him, kneels in front of him, fingers tracing the mark glowing faintly on his throat. Her voice is soft, almost a sigh. "Then let it kill me too." He tries to speak again, but she stops him the only way she knows how. A kiss that doesn't ask for permission. It's quiet, slow, trembling with everything they haven't said. The rain drums harder outside, and far across the temple the sleeping alpha stirs, his breath hitching, his hand curling as though he feels it too. He's dreaming her kiss. The bond carries it, thread by thread across the silence. Two bodies, one touch, two hearts, one pulse. The curse humming in sync until the air itself trembles. When the kiss breaks, the younger alpha presses his forehead against hers. His voice cracks when he says it. "If one of us lives, it should be him." She shakes her head, but he smiles faintly, resigned. "You were never meant to choose," he says. "You were meant to destroy what makes choosing necessary." Her chest aches. She can't breathe past it. He closes his eyes, voice fading into the rain. "Tell him I didn't run. I gave it back." The bond flares once, bright, desperate, then goes still. Outside, the rain stops. The forest listens. The moon hides behind the clouds as if afraid of what it just witnessed. She holds him until the heartbeat beneath her palms fades. And when she finally looks up, the other alpha is awake, watching, silent, eyes full of something too broken to name. The hunt isn't over, but the war inside her just began. The sky bleeds before the sun can set. The red moon rises too early, swollen, trembling, furious. Its light crawls over the forest ruins where they hide, painting everything in the same color as her pulse. The surviving alpha feels the change first, pain beneath his mark, deep and dragging. He drops to his knees, gripping the stone floor as the bond surges alive, wild and unbound. Somewhere beyond the forest, the ghost of his brother stirs. Not dead, not gone, woven into the bond itself. The curse begins to demand what was promised, resolution. She feels it too. Every mark on her body hums in perfect sync. Pleasure, grief, power, all knotted together. Her breath turns shallow, her vision tinted crimson. The moon is inside her now, whispering truths she was never meant to hear. She wasn't born to be chosen. She was created, offered, a vessel meant to house the moon's dying power. Her body, the bridge, her heart, the altar, her love, the sacrifice. The alpha watches her crumble, his hands shaking, eyes wide with realization. You knew, he whispers. You always knew what it wanted from you. She turns to him, the moon's reflection burning in her eyes. I hoped I was wrong, she says, voice steady but breaking. But tonight, we end it. She steps closer, the glow of her marks bright enough to light the ruins. Her scent thickens the air, command wrapped in tenderness. Call him, she orders softly. The air ripples. The second alpha materializes through the bond, not flesh but spirit, a ghost still bound to her pulse. Both alphas stand before her now, one breathing, one made of light and memory. They're both unraveling, pulled apart by the force that created them. She looks at them, love and fury indistinguishable in her expression. Tonight, she says, no one wins. Her voice drops, low, unyielding. We burn together. The living alpha reaches for her first, fingers trembling, eyes wet. The ghost follows, his touch a flicker of warmth that should not exist. Their hands meet over her heart. The bond ignites. The ruins tremble. The forest howls. The moon above swells until it covers the sky, bleeding its last light into them. Steam and power blur into one. Every breath, every sound, a confession of devotion and destruction. The air turns molten, too thick to breathe. The red light engulfs them. 3 souls tangled, 3 hearts breaking in rhythm. When it ends, there's silence. The red fades from the moon. The forest stops moving. The ruins glow faintly with silver embers. The last proof that love, when bound by curse, doesn't die quietly. Only one heartbeat remains. But it doesn't belong to any of them alone. Morning crawls through the ruins like smoke after a fire. The red light is gone, but the scent of her still clings to the air. Faint, haunting, too soft to belong to anything mortal. He wakes on cold stone, wrists bound in silver chains, throat raw from screaming a name the forest never returned. The other alpha, the ghost that burned beside her, is gone. The bond that once hummed between them is silent now, cut clean. The silence is worse than death. He rips at the chains until blood slicks his palms. The marks on his neck pulse weakly, desperate to find the heartbeat they've lost. But the moon gives him nothing, no light, no guidance. Only her scent, drifting through the broken air like a thread leading him forward. He follows it through the ruins, through the ash and the roots until he finds her, crumpled where the moonlight once struck. Her skin glows faintly, veins traced with silver. Her eyes, half open, shimmer with the same light that took the other alpha away. He drops beside her, shaking, voice breaking. Don't do this. Don't leave me here with ghosts. She smiles weakly, a fragile thing, too calm for someone dying. I'm not leaving, she murmurs. Her hand rises, trembling, to his face. Her fingers are warm, but her pulse flickers beneath the skin like a candle drowning in wax. He leans closer, desperate, until her lips brush his. Barely a touch. But it feels like the bond itself flinches awake. Her whisper slips between their mouths, soft and final. He's still inside you. Her thumb traces his jaw. Her eyes flicker with both moonlight and memory. Every time you breathe, you'll taste him. Her lips hover close again, a breath away. Every time you touch me, he'll feel it. He stills. Her words sink in like a revelation and a curse. And then he feels it. The other's presence, faint but unmistakable, living beneath his own heartbeat. Not dead, not gone. Merged, their souls fused by the bond she completed. He pulls her into his arms, shaking, torn between gratitude and horror. She closes her eyes, exhaling a quiet, fragile sound that might be a laugh or a sob. You wanted both, she whispers, voice fading. Now you'll never be free of either. The chains that bound him earlier crumble to dust. The bond flares once more, dim but eternal. He presses his forehead to hers, whispering, "Then neither will you." As the sun breaks through the trees, the silver in her eyes begins to dim, replaced by something human again. The moon is gone, but its echo lives on in both of them. And somewhere deep inside his chest, the second heartbeat answers, steady, possessive, alive. Two alphas, one body, one omega who made the moon bleed to keep them whole. The moon rises one final time, whole, pale, watching. Its light spills over the ruined court like the glow of something ready to end. The bond inside them stirs again, slow, heavy, aching, a reminder that every heartbeat since the auction was just a countdown. She stands at the center of the old throne room. The air hums with power, raw and unfinished. Behind her, the alpha made of flesh, eyes dark, alive, trembling. Before her, the alpha made of spirit, his form flickering in and out of light, his voice echoing through the silence like the echo of her own breath. The moon above begins to pulse, brighter with each second, demanding the resolution promised to it long ago. One life, one mate. The bond cannot hold three when the final light rises. The living alpha steps forward, jaw clenched, voice low. "Choose me," he says, not as a command, but as a plea. The spirit steps closer too, his words layered over the first. "Let him go or you'll die with us." She looks at both, the ruin of her body reflected in their eyes, the power flickering beneath her skin. Then she smiles, soft, exhausted, resolute. "I was never meant to choose between you." The moon brightens. The marks on her throat begin to burn white hot. The air thickens, the floor trembling beneath their feet. She raises her hands, one resting on each of them. The living alpha shudders under her touch. The spirit trembles as if made whole again. "I'll give the moon what it wants," she says quietly, "but it won't be either of you." They both understand too late. Her body begins to glow, silver veins crawling up her neck, across her chest, down her arms. The bond screams through them, alive and breaking. The moon demands a life. She gives it her own. Steam fills the air, not heat, but pure, consuming energy. The two alphas fall to their knees before her, unable to stand against the power surging from her. Her fingers slide into their hair, one hand steady, one trembling. She pulls them close, foreheads touching hers, 3 breaths merging into one. Her whisper is a vow and a farewell. No more chains, no more masters. Just us, until the moon forgets our names. The bond erupts. Light floods the hall, so bright it silences the world. The moon flares white, swallowing everything, sound, pain, love, all burning into peace. When dawn comes, the kingdom wakes in silence. The curse is gone. The chains that once bound the Omega lie melted into the throne, silver, twisted, eternal. No bodies, no blood. Only the faint scent of her still in the air, like the ghost of a promise kept. And as the wind moves through the empty hall, her voice lingers, soft, distant, unbroken. "They said no heart could serve 2 kings, but mine was never built for mercy." Then the moon fades, leaving behind nothing but the legend of an Omega who refused to belong, and the night the gods bowed to her choice.